Dear students, welcome to the science class. So in the last class we were discussing about the exercise questions related to the electricity topic. So in that topic we already discussed about 14 questions. So today we are going to discuss the remaining questions. So let us consider the question number 15 here. So two lamps are rated 100 watt and 220 volt, and the other lamp rated as 60 watt at 220 volt are connected in the parallel to a electric mains supply. What current drawn from the line if the supply voltage is equal to 220 volts? So in the problem statement they are given two lamps rated as one rated as 100 watt and 220 volt and other rated as 60 watt and 220 volt are connected in parallel. So we have to calculate the total current supply or total current flowing through those lamps if the voltage supply is equal to 220 volts. So if you consider the circuit diagram of this thing, those are connected in parallel. So let this be the first lamp and this will be the second lamp. So this has the rating of 100 watt at 220 volts. It has the rating of how much? It has the rating of 60 watts at 220 volts. 60 watt at 220 volts. So both are connected in parallel to a electric main supply of 220 volts. 220 volts. So we have to calculate the total current flowing through this circuit. We have to calculate total current flowing through this circuit. So if you want to calculate total current flowing through that circuit, we require what? We require total power. That is nothing but power of this lamp and the power of this lamp together we want. For that reason we require first the resistance of both the lamps. So if you want to take the total current here, the total voltage is given here. So what we require here? We require the total resistance which is connected in the parallel. Since both the lamps are having the resistance, so first we have to calculate the total resistance. That is nothing but we have to calculate the individual resistance of the lamp 1 and lamp 2. Then we have to calculate the total resistance in parallel connection. By using that value, we are going to calculate the total current flowing in this circuit. Right? So that for that we just must write down the given data. So what is there? Two lamps are rated as 100 watt and 220 volt and 60 watt and 220 volt. So the rating of the first lamp, the power of the first lamp, so this will be the first lamp, let it be the lamp 1. So it is equal to 100 watt. And the power of the second lamp, power of the lamp 2, which is equal as 60 watt. Right. So the total electric main supply is given as how much? It is given as 220 volts. So the voltage is given. Voltage V is equal to how much? It is given as 220 volts. So what we have to calculate here? We have to calculate the resistance of each lamp. Therefore, resistance of the lamp 1, which is equal to, we know the formula, that is nothing but P is equal to V square divided by R. So by using that formula, since in parallel connection voltage will remain same, we are going to use the P is equal to V square divided by R formula, since we know the value of V as well as we know the power rating of the lamp. So directly using that formula we can calculate the resistance of the lamp. So by using the formula, that is nothing but P is equal to V square divided by R. Therefore R is equal to what? It is V square divided by P, which is equal to, what is the value of V here? It is 220. 220 square divided by what is the value of R here? It is 100. So P 100. So it is equal to 48400 divided by 100. So 0 get cancelled. It is going to give the resistance as 484 ohms. So the resistance of the lamp 1 is equal to how much? It is equal to 484 ohms. In the same manner, the resistance of the lamp 2. Resistance of the lamp 2. Again, we have the formula, that is nothing but R is equal to V square divided by P. So what is the value of V here? It is again 220 square. So it will become 220 square divided by what is the value of power here in the lamp 2, it is equal to 60 watt. So divided by 60. So it is equal to how much? It is equal to 48400 divided by 60. So 0 0 gets cancelled. 2 3s are 2 4 2 0. So it is equal to how much? It is equal to 2420 divided by 3 ohms. Since last we are getting 0, so it is not possible to divide 2420 divided by 3. So I am going to keep that in the same manner as the fraction only. Right. So we have the resistance of the lamp, let it be the R2, resistance of the lamp 1 as R1. So we calculated the R1 and R2. So how they are connected here? They are connected in the parallel connection. So we have to calculate the total resistance of the both the lamps together. That is nothing but RP we have to calculate. Therefore, the total resistance that is nothing but RP is equal to 1 divided by RP equal to 1 divided by R1 plus 1 divided by R2, which is equal to, what is the value of R1 here, which we calculated here? That is nothing but 484. So 1 divided by 484 plus 1 divided by 2420 divided by 3. 2420 divided by 3. So which can be written as 1 divided by 484 plus 3 goes in the numerator section divided by 482420 again. 2420. Right. So if we calculate the LCM here, the LCM is going to be the same only. That is nothing but it will be 2420. So 484 5s are 2420. So here into 5, here into 1. So it will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 5 plus 3. So 1 by RP is equal to 5 plus 3, it is equal to 8. 8 divided by 2420. So 4 2s are 4 6s are 0 5s are. So it is going to give the value of 2 divided by 605. So therefore RP is equal to 605 divided by 2. RP is equal to how much? It is equal to 605 divided by 2 ohms. Or it is equal to 302.5 ohms. Which is equal to how much? 302.5 ohms. You can write that thing also. 302.5 ohms. Right. So what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the total current flowing through that circuit. So therefore, the total current I is equal to, by Ohm's law, V divided by RP. So which is equal to 220 divided by 605 divided by 2, which is equal to how much? Which is equal to 220 into 2 divided by 605. So which is equal to 440 divided by 605. So if you calculate here, you are going to get the value as 0.727 amperes. So therefore I is equal to how much? It is equal to 0.727 amperes. If you calculate, you are going to get that value. So see here, 5 22s are 5 2s are 22s are. So 5 8s are 5 88s are, and 5 12s are 5 1s are 5 2s are 5 1s are 121s are. So see here, it's 88s are 5 88s are 121s are 11 8s are 11 11s are. If you calculate here, you are going to get the value as 0.727 amperes. So the total current flowing through this circuit is equal to how much? It is equal to 0.727 amperes. So this is the answer for the question number 1. Now let us consider the question number 16. Which uses more energy, a 250 watt TV set in 1 hour or 1200 watt toaster in 10 minutes? So we have to calculate separately the energy consumption of the TV set as well as the energy consumption of the toaster here. So first we are going to take the energy consumption by the TV set. So the power of the TV set is which is equal to P is equal to how much? It is equal to 250 watt. Right? Time taken for the consumption of the energy is equal to how much? It is equal to, which is given is the 1 hour. So time taken here, time taken, that nothing but the T in case of TV set, or we can say that time taken by the TV. So which is nothing but T is equal to how much? It is equal to 1 hour. So we already know that energy consumption. We are not telling about the electrical energy. We are telling about the energy consumption. So if you know that energy consumption SI, it is joules only. So we have to convert these things into the joules. So for that thing, we already know that watt is nothing but what? It is the joule per second. So for that reason, we should convert the 1 hour into the seconds. So we know that in 1 hour how many minutes are there? 60 minutes. In 1 minute how many seconds are there? 60 seconds. Therefore it is equal to 1 into 60 is equal to 3600 seconds. 3600 seconds. So the energy consumed by the TV set, energy consumed by the TV, that is nothing but let it be the ETV, which is equal to question mark, which is equal to question mark. So we already know the by formula, energy consumption is nothing but it is the power rating into the time taken. So it can be given as ETV is equal to P into T. So which is equal to 250 into 3600. 250 into 3600. So 36 5 how much? It is equal to 80. 36 5 180. So here 0 remains 18. 36 2 is 72. So it plus 18 is equal to how much? It is equal to 90. 000 joules. So it is equal to 9 lakh joules, which can be written as 9 into 10 raised to 5 joules. So which is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 5 joules. So therefore ETV is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 5 joules. So in the same manner, we have to calculate the energy consumed by the toaster. If its rating is 1200 watt and it is consuming the energy for 10 minutes. Therefore, power of the toaster now. Power of the toaster, that is nothing but P is equal to how much? It is equal to 1200 watts. So the time taken by the toaster, that is nothing but T is equal to 10 minutes, which can be written as in seconds. So that 10 into 60. So it is equal to how much? It is equal to 600 seconds. Therefore, energy consumed by the toaster, energy consumed by the toaster, that is nothing but ET is equal to question mark. Again by this formula, that is nothing but ET is equal to what? Power into the time taken, P into T, which is equal to what is the power here? Which is equal to 1200 into time taken is equal to how much? It is equal to 600 seconds. So 6 12 how much? It is equal to 7 into 0000. So it will be 4 zeros. 7,20,000 joules. That is equal to how much? That is equal to 7.2 into 10 raised to 5 joules. So 80 is equal to 7.2 into 10 raised to 5 joules. If we check the values of the energy consumed by the TV set and the energy consumed by the toaster, since ETV is more than ET, ETV is more than ET. Therefore, the TV set consumes more energy. Therefore, TV set consumes more energy. Since the energy consumption value of the TV is nothing but TV is more compared to the toaster. For that reason, TV consumes more energy than the toaster. So this is the problem number 16. Now let us consider the question number 17 now. So an electric heater of resistance 8 ohm drawn 15 ampere current from their service mains in 2 hours calculate the rate at which heat is developed in the heater. Heat is developed in the heater. So see here what they are given here, an electric heater of resistance 8 ohms. So the resistance of the electric heater is given. So resistance R is equal to how much? It is equal to 8 ohms. Then what they are given here? They are given that current drawn by that electrical heater is equal to 15 amperes. So current is also given. Current, that is nothing but I is equal to how much? It is equal to 15 amperes. Then what they are given from the service made in 2 hours. So they are given the time taken. So that is nothing but T is equal to how much? They are given as the 2 hours, which is equal to, we have to convert it into the seconds. So 2 into 60 into 60 is equal to 7200 seconds. Right. Mains in 2 hours. Calculate the rate at which heat is developed in the heater. So see here what they are given. Calculate the rate at which heat is developed in the heater. So we have to calculate the heating effect of electric current. After that we have to calculate the power of that heater. So that is nothing but calculate the rate. See here they are given the rate at which heat is developed in the heater. So we already know that power is nothing but it is the rate of work done. It is the rate of work done or it is the rate of energy consumed. So the rate of work done or rate of energy consumed is directly equal to the rate of heat produced. So that way here we have to calculate the power of that electric heater. Therefore, it can be done in 2 ways. This problem can be solved in 2 ways, directly using the formula one way, or first finding the heating effect of electric current. That is nothing but first finding the heat energy. That is nothing but H is equal to, first we have to find out the heat. Then we have to calculate the power. That is nothing but P is equal to H divided by T. By using that formula, we are going to calculate the power. So here I am going to directly calculate the power of that thing. So since they are asked about the rate of heat development. So rate of heat development. Rate of heat development, that is nothing but P is equal to H divided by T. P is equal to 1, H divided by T, which is equal to 1, question mark. So we know the formula, that is nothing but power which is equal to H divided by T, that is nothing but rate of heat developed. So we know the formula for the heat developed, that is nothing but H is equal to I square R into T. Therefore, I square R into T divided by T. So T gets cancelled. T gets cancelled. One will remain here. We are remain with the P is equal to I square R. So P is equal to I square R. So that is equal to, what is the I value here? It is equal to 15 square. So it is equal to 15 square into 8. So it is equal to how much? It is equal to 225 into 8. So it is equal to 8 5 the 40, 8 to the 16 20, 8 to the 16 18. So it is equal to 1800 watts. Which is equal to how much? 1800 watts. So the rate of heat developed is equal to, therefore the rate of heat developed is 1800 watts. It is equal to 1800 watts. So that is the answer. So in another way, what you are going to do here, directly use the power formula, that is nothing but H is equal to I square R into T. First find out the heat released. Then by using the formula, that is nothing but we have to find out the rate at heat is released. So by using this formula H by T, we are going to get again the same answer, that is nothing but 1800 watts. So this is about the question number 17. So let us consider the last question of this topic. That is nothing but 18th question. Explain the following. So in that we have 5 sub questions. So we have to see the one by one. Now first question: why the tungsten is used almost extensively for filament of electric lamp? Why the tungsten is used for the almost extensively for filament of the electric lamp? So while already we discussed about the electric lamp, whatever the filament which is present, which is made from the tungsten. So what is the reason we are going only using the tungsten wire only, tungsten filament only, not the other element filaments? Since we know that tungsten has the properties, those properties are nothing but tungsten has the low resistance. It is a good conductor. It has more resistivity compared to the other wires. Plus another property of the tungsten is nothing but when the tungsten is heated, tungsten is going to give the light. Right? It is going to produce the light. If you take another element, another metal, when they heat it, they are not going to produce the light. They are just going to produce the more amount of heat. But in case of the tungsten, when the tungsten is heated, tungsten is providing the light energy also. So for that reason, in small quantity of the electric current, it is providing the light. For that reason, tungsten in the electric lamp, whichever the filament, is almost extensively used. Since its property that is nothing but it has a high melting point also. Its melting point is very very high, as well as it has the more capability of resisting the more heat, so that it is not going to easily melt out, as well as it is going to provide energy, that is nothing but light energy, when it is heated. So for that reason, tungsten is extensively used. So the first reason will be the production of the light when it is heated. Second reason will be the high melting point, so it is not going to melt easily. So better option is it is going to provide with the light energy. Now let us consider the second question in that 18th question. Why the conductors of electrical heating devices such as bread toaster and electric iron are made of an alloy rather than the pure metal? Made from the alloy rather than the pure metal. See here, H directly proportional to the I square, H directly proportional to the R, and H directly proportional to the T. Right, we know that all the metals are good conductors of the electricity, since the resistance of those things will be less. Resistance of those things will be less. But if you see here, electrical heating device, if you consider the electrical heating device, what we require here, we require the heat production. Heat production. If you see here, heat production is directly proportional to the square of the current, and heat production is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor. If you check here, metals are good conductor of the electricity, but they have lack in the resistance. If you compare the metals to the alloys have more amount of resistance. They have more amount of resistance. If they have more amount of resistance, what they are going to do here, they are going to provide more amount of heat energy. More amount of heat energy, since heating effect of electric current is directly proportional to the resistance. Since alloy has the more amount of resistance, because of that resistance, they are going to provide more amount of energy. For that reason, the conductors of the electrical heating devices are having the alloy as the conducting material inside them, not the metals. Right, for that reason only. So it is for that reason alloys are used for the purpose of conductors in the electrical heating devices. So let's take the question number 3. Why the series arrangement is not used in the domestic circuits? Why does this series arrangement is not used in the domestic circuits? So we already discussed about those things, that the series connection in the domestic circuits, everything is connected in the parallel connection. Why everything is connected in the parallel connection? If they connected in the series connection, the energy requirement will be more, and the loss of the energy will be also be more. In the same way, if you check here, if the connection is in the series, if one device get damaged or one device get lost or damaged, then all the circuit is going to be open circuit. So the electrical supply is going to stop to the another equipment, another device which are connected in the households. So if you see here, this is the first circuit, this is the second circuit, this is the third. Now if you see here in the series connection, we already know that the voltage drop is going to occur. Voltage drop is occurring, that means there is the loss of the energy. So in the series connection, if you connect all those home appliances, that is nothing but in the domestic circuit, what will happen? Whatever the energy is getting, it is not getting by the another resistor, another equipment. So there will be the loss of the energy. For that reason, we are connecting the series domestic circuit in parallel, since there will be same voltage supply to all the equipment. This is the first condition. If we take the second condition, now for some reason this is damaged, this gets damaged, If it get damaged, what will happen? The electrical supply to the next conductor or next electrical equipment will be not there. So if it get damaged, there will be cut in the wires. So if there is a cut, then what will happen here? The circuit becomes open and there will be no supply of electric current to the further equipment. So if one stops, everything is going to stop. One electrical equipment stop in series connection, all the electrical equipments are going to get stopped. So there will be no function of those things. In the same way, if you connect those things in the parallel connection, if something happens to the one equipment, then all other equipments are not going to stop. They are going to continuously function. For that reason, in the domestic circuit also everything is connected in the parallel, not in the series. Right? So this is the answer for the question number 3. So next, consider the question number 4 here. How does the resistance of a wire vary with its area cross section? How does the resistance of a wire vary with the area cross section? So we already know that R is inversely proportional to the 1 by A. 1 by A, that is nothing but resistance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the area cross section. As the area cross section increases, resistance of the conductor decreases. Right? We already know that. If R increases, area cross section is decreases. When area cross section decreases, resistance of the conductor increases. In the same manner, resistance of the conductor decreases as area cross section increases. Right? So that is the answer for the question number 4 here. Next, 5th one. Why the copper and aluminum wire usually employed for electrical transmission? Why the copper and the aluminum wire usually employed for the electrical transmission? If we check the table of the resistivity, in that table, copper and aluminum are good conductors of the electricity since they have less amount of resistivity. Very less amount of resistivity. We have gold as well as silver also. Gold and silver are also good conductor of the electricity. They have less amount of resistivity compared to the copper and aluminum. Right? But gold and silver are very costly. They are very costly. If you check the gold amount here, gold rate now, it is 50,000 for 10 grams. So is it possible that everywhere we are going to use the gold as well as we are going to use the silver? No, it is not possible. Since cost of those things is very, very high. Now if you check the resistivity of the copper and aluminum, those are nearly equal to the resistivity of the gold and silver. For that reason, for the reduction in the cost as well as they are good conductors of the electricity, copper and aluminum are extensively used in the electrical transmission. Right? They are good conductors as well as they are less cost effective one. For that reason, aluminum and copper are used extensively. So here your chapter is completed. Your exercise questions are also completed and your chapter is also completed. I hope everything is clear about this topic as well as this exercise. So in the next class we are going to start with the new topic. Up to that point, thank you, take care, stay well, stay home.